Here's one. Alright, so for most women, giving birth probably one of the happiest moments in their life, but at the same time, probably after the painful process is done with. But they wait 9 months, and after 9 months of waiting, you get a handsome or beautiful little baby boy or girl. And one being 7 pounds 8 ounces, had a healthy cry, was born a healthy baby, but something went terribly wrong. The nurses began yelling for help, and there was too much bleeding from the mother that may possibly lead to death. The doctor then diagnosed her with HELLP syndrome, H-E-L-L-P, and it's an emergency situation that can cost the mother her life. Giving blood is one of the easiest ways to help out someone who is severely injured or sick. According to Miller Keystone Blood Center, 4.8 million Americans would die every year without blood transfusions. And every day, 48,000 units of blood are used. Could you imagine a world without giving blood? Almost 5 million people a year would die in the next year alone. However, only 10% of Americans give blood annually. And according to America's Blood Centers, if only 1% more of all Americans donated blood, all blood shortages would disappear. Even with all these facts, people still find excuses or reasons to not donate blood and to help save a life. Today I'm here to change that. Giving the gift of your blood, which cannot be duplicated by any machine, is one of the biggest donations one person could ever make. Problems around the world involving the lack of blood. The internationally known American Red Cross reports every second someone around the world is in need of a blood transfusion. According to the Mayo Clinic, only 5% of eligible donors across the nation actually donate blood, while the number of transfusions increased 9% every year. Numbers of injuries increase during the summer months and during the holidays, like Christmas time, because of people's activity level, which creates a higher risk for accidents. Also, within hospitals, many surgeries go underway that require loss of blood. For example, a hip replacement requires 1 unit, while a cardiac bypass or a heart transplant requires 2 units. A liver transplant requires almost 10 units, or almost 10 people's donations. These surgeries are occurring every day. Do you still think your blood isn't needed? Everyone here has been in or witnessed a car accident, like you was talking about earlier with texting, or whatever reason it may be. And the average single car accident victim requires as many as 100 units of blood. If you have the universal donor blood type O, negative, your blood is wanted everywhere. This type of blood is used immediately, with emergencies before the blood type is known. To break even with hospitals' need for blood, more than 38,000 blood donations are needed each day. So sign up at a local Red Cross today and make a difference. Some reasons why people don't donate. People are filled with many excuses when asked to do something against their will, like attending jury duty, or maybe your boss calls you in when you're on your day off asking you to come in to work to cover someone's shift. GiveAPint.org released a list of the top excuses for why people do not give blood. One being, of course, the most common, I'm afraid of needles. Another being, others are donating enough. Well, 50% of the U.S. population is eligible to donate blood, yet only 10% do. Blood centers nationwide traditionally run into blood shortages at various times throughout the year. Blood is also perishable, having a shelf life of 42 days. And while platelets have a shelf life of only 5 days. Therefore, it is extremely important to maintain a steady stream of blood donors in order to ensure the safety and availability of blood supply for all of us. Another reason people give is my blood type is not in demand. And blood centers often run short of type O, A, and B blood. So all type, and if all blood donors gave at least twice a year, it would help to prevent blood shortages. They'll take too much blood and I'll feel weak, some people say. and blood makes up only about 7% of one's body weight, and the average adult has 10 pints of blood in his or her body. After a donation of whole blood, you will not be eligible to donate for 56 days, during which time your body will be completely replenished from the blood you have so generously donated. Immediately after your blood donation, you will also be asked to spend a few moments in the snack area where you will be served juice, water, cookies, and other snacks. This helps replenish some of the sugar in your liquids and helps the nurses make sure you're feeling well before you leave from your donation appointment. People say I'm too busy. If you or a family member or a coworker, neighbor, or friend were in need of a blood transfusion, would you want to hear this excuse? I was too busy. Your neighbor could be dying, your best friend, and you just said you were too busy. In no other activity can just an hour a day of donation give and be so much. So some ways to fix the nationwide drought of blood. Finding a place to donate blood is the least of your worries. From hospitals to donation centers such as Red Cross, they will all gladly take your blood without even making an appointment ahead of time to come in. The process only has a few requirements. According to Kaiser Permanente, you must be at least 17 years old and weigh at least 110 pounds, and be in good health. You can even take your pets to a blood bank to donate, according to Animal Blood Resources. With the number of strayed and abused pets these days, blood for everyone is crucial. Out of 24 hours in a day, take one today and go down to the local blood bank to help save 3 lives. In conclusion, I can't stress enough how important it is for people to generously donate their blood. It makes a much bigger difference in the world than many people actually believe. From children to the extremely ill to animals, lives can be extended with a bit of your time and energy. Don't let that healthy unborn child grow up without a mother because there was not enough blood to take care of her disease when you denied the call from the American Red Cross. I actually skipped it.
Why?
All right, Teresa, what did you think?
I thought it was a good speech. I liked how he started off because I thought he was going to talk about pregnancy, but he linked it, and he also linked it towards the end about how crucial blood donation is. And also, I didn't know how what a big stress it was. I always just thought they just did that just because they wanted more blood and stuff when they came at school. I didn't think it was I don't know, but so they kind of opened my eyes more, so it was very informative and persuasive as well. And it was overall a good speech. The only thing was maybe there was times when he was stuck. That was not a big stress, and then also he was a little tiny bit short on that, but that's it. I think it was overall a really good speech, and it persuaded me to go to a blood bank.
All right.
I'm going to. But I don't wait.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sign up today. All right. I thought that you had a nice visualization in the opening, and it's a nice juxtaposition that then switches topics effectively so we can see how they're linked, but it's also an interesting way to get to the point that you're making. So I like that. Your goal was clearly stated, but there's not really a layout of what the secondary issues are going to be, and I think that could be a little bit sharper. Movement between the points was occasionally a little bit awkward. It just felt like we've arrived at this spot. Let me draw attention to the fact that we've arrived at that spot and move on. And I think that those transitions need to be smoother. The content issues, I think, are pretty strong on the first part where you're talking about the need for blood, and you do well on that. When you're talking about the issues that maybe people resist donating blood on or the problems, I thought that that's where you kind of hurt your presentation because you went to that other list of information and it suddenly stopped feeling like a speech, and it was more like I'm just reading the bullet points or the high points off of this website or whatever that's going on here. And